Hello, everybody, and welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk, the only show that comes to you randomly at random times and random days of the year. And how is it that it happens? I don't know, and it doesn't matter because I couldn't explain it if I did know. I hope the fans aren't too loud, but there's nothing I can do about it because it was warm in here because for some reason it's like 30 degrees one day and it's 70 the next day here. So I was sweating today. I was ripping apart pallets, had the circular saw, had the Sawzall or reciprocating saw for those of you who won't let me call every saw a Sawzall. I think they're all a Sawzall, just like every circular saw is a skill saw. And that's how it is. My wife texts me. Yep. Oh, yeah. She wants me to help her remove herself from an event that she had to go to that she doesn't want to be part of. Randy Laz, how are you, man? How are you, Randy Laz? Good to see you. So we're going to get this whiz bang 2022 goodbye session off with a bang because we have to give away this CPS IAQ Pro Smart Air. That's right. Just in case you don't know what that is, I'm going to open this and it's not going to help you any because there it is. Now, in case you're thinking you could yell Alexa at it, which you might be able to, I don't know. Could be, might be. It's a air sensor, tells you what baddies are in the air floating around so that you can sell your customer some kind of lightsaber in the duct or maybe one of those filters that folds and is really large. Josh Hogan, Happy New Year's. Hey, Josh Hogan, that's right. I have your stuff right over there. Josh Hogan purchased some of my stuff I was getting rid of out of the shop here, and his box is one of those many boxes over there. We have Ted and everything over there. Ted bought a lot of stuff, and let's see, several of you guys did. So that was pretty awesome. As you can see, it's still here. I was packing it all up. I was going to wait till the end of the week because I was selling a whole bunch of stuff. Figured I'd go to the store at the same time. So that's the logic there. I'm not just slow. There's logic to it. What's up, Kangaroo God? How are you doing today? I'm hoping that I should check something real quick. I know I love being prepared and everything, but yeah, okay. Just checking. Okay. So, guys, we want to give this thing away. The CPS IAQ Smart Pro Air. I can't remember what it's called now. Every time I say it wrong. Happy New Year, Lizaraga. It's almost 2023. What's in your wallet? So, CPS IAQ Pro Smart Air. There we are again. I'm holding the case. And you don't get to see my face for a second. So, it's a win for everybody. Oh, self-deprecating humor. All right, so here are the people. Now, to enter this contest, you had to subscribe to the Upside app and use it. That was the thing. Upside app's the app you use to save gas. Okay? I forgot to put the link in the description, but I'm going to do this again next time I do this. And I'm also going to add in the channel members because the channel members are like, hey, man, we're channel members, so you ought to be part of it too. That seemed pretty convincing to me. So I was like, okay, absolutely. Sounds good to me. So I have the list of dudes here, and what you get here is the first few letters of each name. But when you claim your prize by emailing me at hvacshoptalk@gmail.com, you're going to have to tell me the full name so I know that it's the right person. So there we have JWX is number 1, KIL is number 2, Mark is number 3, Chris is number 4, WEP is number 5, Kyle's number 6, and Rawl is number 7. So JWX, you won last time, but you didn't claim the prize. So we're doing this again. I still have you on there, but, if it happens again, we're going to have to just take you off the list or something because this is a nice prize, man. I added some other stuff on there. Now I can't remember what that is, but there's like a couple more items on there too. So we're going to go on over to the Google random number generator. We have numbers 1 through 7, and the winner is number 6. Number 6 is Kyle. So if you are Kyle, and what's up, Antonio Gutierrez? If you're Kyle, you know who you are. You got Upside. You won the contest. You will have until I announce the winner of the next contest to claim this contest. Okay? So there you go. Going to have a long time. So we're not going to give this thing away again unless Kyle doesn't want to claim it for some reason. But number 6, Kyle won. Okay. All right. Fantastic. That's great. Now, as many of you know, I got an email from Yellow Jacket, actually, to remind me of this. HR is coming up. So if you guys want me to sign your duct takeoffs or your rolls of tape or your Shop Talk hats, which I no longer sell that some of you have, then you are not in luck, because I will not be there because I hate gatherings of that size. I will be here at my house. If you want to drop by here, you can help me make some wood shelves. You see, I got some clamps in the back there. For those of you who can see, I'm clamping together a top to a desk I'm building for my wife. You guys can help with that. You can help me plane some lumber. You can help me test out the manometer, whatever we're doing that day. I just don't like going to those things, so I am not going. And I will probably never go again. I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. So there's a lot of people that are going. A lot of people love that. A lot of people love networking. Now, that's the thing, though. If you're a podcast host, isn't it the responsible thing to go and network with other people to make those connections so you gather those huge sponsors? Probably, but I just don't want to do it. So I'm not going to do it. Hey, Kangaroo God says, I have a Shop Talk sticker on my truck, unsigned, sadly. And if I remember, it'll probably be like a year from now, I'll sign one and send it to you just for fun. Richard Visco says, hey, Zach, what else are you selling? You know what? I don't remember I can't remember. I think most of it's gone. There's like blower puller, but I think Jessica might be getting a blower puller, but I think I have 2 of them. And I like some random stuff. I'll check through. I try to put it on the Facebook, but you can always email me, hvacshoptalk@gmail.com. Email me tomorrow. It's like, hey, Jack. My name's not Jack, by the way. I just don't know how to talk. Hey, Zach, will you check your stuff again? And I'll check it. So just remind me tomorrow, and I will do that. So no AHR for me. Oh, darn. That's too bad. I'm not going to the symposium. That's in Florida. Brian Orr's thing. Honestly, I just don't want to go. I just don't care anything about it, and that's the end of the story. I mean, I wish it was more eloquent and beautiful than that, but I just don't give a crap about going. And I hope they have a great time, and I'm sure it's going to be riveting. But I will not be there. I will be here, probably in this very room, doing what I do every day. Okay. So now that we're done with the random number generator, and the victor has been announced. And hey, feel free to put something in the chat. You want to chat about something, put it in the chat. It's fine. We can read that as we go along. Send me a list. Thanks. See, you got to email me because I'm going to forget all about this. That's why I said you got to email me. It just helps. It helps me. Okay. So we have news, actual news, or we have comments. So I'm going to go to the comments first. Let's see what we got. It might be good. If it's not good, because some of these I haven't read yet, we're going to read them together. So let's check it out. Let's see what we got here. These are my channel. This is what my YouTube looks like when I go to it, guys. Wow. Yeah. So the first one's about generators. So we're going to skip that one because this isn't generator shop talk. You know what I'm saying? This is HVAC shop talk. So Whiskey Cast. Listen to the Seer 2 video that I did with Ted. It says the TAM8 air handler likely had an issue with the harness in the cabinet walls. Early models regularly had issues with it. Train sent out a service bulletin about it. So anybody out there that is dealing with TAM8s that have been around for a while, there you go. You might have a harness issue, and Whiskey Cast just might have saved your bacon, man. Just might have saved your bacon, dude. So, and what's up, Susie? It's good to see you here, Susie. I hope you're doing all right, Susie. I like it. I used to check in on Susie, see what she was up to. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm going to try to check in on you again, Susie, because I like you, and I'll make sure you're doing all right. So Ryan, let's see what Ryan has to say here on the zone. How do you wire multiple dampers to the same zone? That's a pretty good question. So wiring multiple dampers to the same zone. It's not that hard, really, as long as you have the volt amps and the transformer, because every damper uses energy, basically, and your transformers can supply X amount of energy. Let's say volt amps, watts, whatever you want to call it. So, hey, Curtis is here. Sorry for the detour, guys. I'll be right back. EWC is a sponsor. And it's me winking. Podcast, I'm winking. And it looks really natural. Air Oasis Mechanical. Sub-Zach here in Myrtle Beach this week. First time in a couple years. Just wanted to say, hey, Curtis, you want to pick up that 410A on the way back through here? Because you're asking about it. I was like, how does Curtis think he's going to acquire this 410A? Because I have like 10 pounds of 410A. Little did I know Curtis was in the neighborhood. So actually, two things, Curtis. Will you stop by Direct Tools at the Tanger Outlet Mall for me? And I'll put a list together. And secondly, just drop by the house and pick up this 410A, and you can have it for $75. That's just from me to you, Curtis. $75. No shipping required. You can do curbside pickup. Hey, Post-Op Streetlight says, do you like Goodman? Nope, I do not. So that was easy. Let's go back to the comment section. I'm just kidding. Goodmans are great. For the podcast people, I was shaking my head. No. So wiring multiple dampers to the same zone. Okay. So when I use zone dampers, typically they're 3-wire. Power open, power close, and a common. So you have your common wire. Think of it as the same common that goes back to your air handler, same common from your transformer. And then you have your power open, 24 volts feeds that. It opens up. There's no spring in these dampers that I use. When you hit the 24 volts close, damper closes. Pretty simple stuff. So you can actually wire those and just jump off one to the next one. The issue becomes, do you have enough energy to run all those dampers? Because what'll happen if you don't have enough energy, they won't open all the way. They won't, if they're spring dampers, they won't be able to open all the way. They may not move at all. If they're POC dampers, I don't know. Usually I calculate the power correctly, so I don't know what happens. Maybe they don't work at all. So if you have a transformer for a zone system and you're using spring dampers, they're going to use about 10 to 12 watts of energy. So if you have a 40 VA transformer, you got 3 of those and you're tapped out basically. If you're using power open and power closed dampers, they use 3-4 watts. So you can put a whole bunch of those in a line if you want to. It's pretty easy to do. But if you don't have the transformer power, you can always just get bigger transformer. 75 VA transformers, pretty common. They go bigger than that, but usually it's either 40 or 75. Richard Visco says, when is the phase out of 410A? I hear 2025. I have to check on that. I got to talk to somebody about 410A. I know they're getting rid of it because it's already been here for a couple minutes. So they're going to find a new refrigerant, hopefully one that'll kill and explode most of the technicians. That way there'll be all these job openings and we'll be paid more. I don't know, guys. It's always ticks me off because whenever we do this whole like new refrigerant thing, everybody's like, this is better for the environment. What a load of crap. Because it is better for the environment per se. But the issue is the machines are made so they leak all the time. It just seems like they're leaking all the time. So if you leak out all the refrigerant, is that really better if it's a better refrigerant? Or is it better to have a more or less environmentally friendly refrigerant that doesn't leak, that you recover? Theoretically, the one you can recover and doesn't leak as much is safer because it's not leaking. Think about it. There you go. Let's see here. We have some stuff going in there. Post-Top Streetlight says a new refrigerant is R454B. Yes, that is one of the new refrigerants. And by new, let's say new is not new per se. Some of them are new, but some of them have been around for a while, like R32. It's been around for a long time. People are using that. A lot of people have used it. Mitsubishi's used it. We could name the same people. It's been around for a while. Let me just hit this thing right here. Make a lot of noise. Yeah. Who knows? These might be around for a few minutes. All of a sudden, they're like, we got to use CO2. We got to work towards CO2, or we got to work towards. But, some of the logic in this thinking is the same logic that says, hey, I drive a Prius, which is good on the environment. Yet, when I plug in my Prius to the wall, there's a mental disconnect between the plug in the wall to the giant coal plant where it's making electricity. So we see plugging into the wall, we see a green leaf like a commercial. We see like butterflies flying around, but we don't see the coal plant, the guys coming out and the guy singing coal keeps the lights on. We don't see all that. That's hidden. That's whatever. Post-Op Streetlight says in Australia, R32 is a new refrigerant. We'll enjoy. I hear R32 is great. In fact, we've been using half of it, or half of 410A has been R32 for a long time, or Puron. Whoever lobbies the government the best can name the refrigerant. Freon, Puron, Dupon, Poupon, who cares? They're all the same thing, and none of them care about us. That is the gist of the conversation. All right. Who sponsors this show? Surprisingly enough, people do. Guys, you may ask, why do people sponsor the show? I don't know. I just thank God that they do. EWC Controls makes forced air zoning products that you can trust. And on the screen right here is the model URD. This is the backbone here. This is your air control damper. The sizes range from 4-inch models all the way up to 20-inch models, and the CFM ranges from 40 CFM all the way up to 2500 CFM. Find out more about URD dampers and everything else EWC Controls offers at their website, ewccontrols.com. This is the Navac NP2 DLM brake-free cordless vacuum pump. Unlike most vacuum pumps, these run off of battery power. No more cords across a roof, no more looking for a plug. These pumps use high-performance lithium-ion batteries powering a brushless DC motor. Features include isolation ball valve, backflow prevention check valve, and an ultimate vacuum of 23 microns. Plus, it's probably the lightest vacuum pump you'll ever own. This is the MP2 DLM vacuum pump from Navac. This is the YJack Mano dual port manometer. This is what we have all been waiting for. A YJack probe where you can take your static pressure and check blower performance in real time. Part number 67068 from Yellow Jacket. Take accurate static pressure measurements up to plus or minus 80 inches of water column. Includes hoses, static pressure probes, and adapter fittings. The YJack Mano manometer 67068. We have a new sponsor at HVAC Shop Talk, Beckett. A lot of you guys know Beckett from their condensate pumps. They do make a mean condensate pump. We just did a video on those as well. There'll be more on that going forward. We're going to test them a little bit. We're going to see how they perform with a high lift. And I just have a few tests I'd like to run just in general to see how condensate pumps react. But Beckett makes more than just condensate pumps. Overflow safety switches, submersible parts washer pumps. I've never even heard of that. Condensate evaporator pans. But their condensate pumps have a wide range. They know what they're talking about. They make a quality pump. You can tell when you look at a condensate pump and you can see the features that are left off. You can see the build quality issues. You don't have that with Beckett. Beckett knows what they're doing. They make a quality product with you in mind. You can find out more at Beckett. That's BECKETT.com/product-category/condensate-pumps. That is a mouthful right there. We'll put a link in the description because there's no way that you remembered that. This show is proud to partner with TrueTechTools.com. You can save 8% off many of the items at their site by using the Shop Talk discount code. Okay, let's get back to something that hopefully flows a lot smoother than that. I think we have no choice but to believe it will because that went horribly. All right. No, not explaining good. See, this is a typical comment for me because I don't explain stuff very well. So Harka Magar, and I don't think it's a language barrier just based on that name. Not explaining good. I will try better next time, Harker. I appreciate it. Now, here's one on our HVAC side work disagreement video. It says, I did side work, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. I now work and make good money for my area, and I turn down almost everything that comes to me. Most places won't pay you what you were worth. Go work for someone who will. In the meantime, make your money where you can. I promise that I have seen shady and unsettling things that companies have charged good money for. Don't fall for the guilt trip of everyone else. Let's see. I did side work. I still don't believe that side work is good if you have an understanding with your boss that you don't want to do it or he doesn't want you to do it. But you know what? To each his own. To each his own. I would question if I was doing the same exact work that my boss was doing. I would feel like that was somewhat of a betrayal. Hey, but that's just me. I'm sure I'm wrong. Terrence Burgess says, will the ambient sensor cause a breaker to trip while the unit is in heating? This is on the HVAC Service Train 2940 defrost controller. So will the ambient sensor cause a breaker to trip? Now, I've never seen a defrost sensor cause a breaker to trip. Breakers high voltage is what I'm assuming he's referring to. I have seen defrost sensors that cause issues and make the low voltage fuse blow or the 3.2 amp fuse pop out. We have to reset it. And it's kind of a brain basher because it happens every once in a while. I had one like that. Oh my gosh. This lady hated my guts because it took me forever to find the issue. And I was working through it for a long time. And this lady just wasn't happy. This was happy. And I'm pretty sure that another company came in and lied about me after that. Anyone ever had that happen where another company comes in and does the whole, let me throw this company under the bus, and you hear that they did that and you hear the explanation, and you're like, well, that's wrong. But it's too late because they don't trust you anymore. Thank you, other companies in HVAC. You heartless son. Okay. Let's get back to the comments for a second. Let's get back to the comments. Hey, nope, wrong one. Let's try this. Let's see. Ames. Well, that's just a Harbor Freight voltmeter. No one wants to hear about that. Oh, WBS Testo 317-3 personal CO monitor. Do not buy. It is faulty, not working properly. Sometimes stop working. No light on the screen. At night, you won't see anything. Scam product. Well, this guy's wrong. This product is fine. He might have. Oh, look at that. Oh, look, he has 2 comments, and he just copied and pasted it. See, you know if someone's legit when they're taking their comment and copying it and paste it to multiple videos. If this was a legit person, then we would have unique comments that meant something. Copy and paste, I don't do that. All right, okay, let's see. Ending credits, maybe technical difficulties. I don't know where the ending credits thing came from. I didn't play any ending credits. Do I even have? Oh, I do have ending credits. If I played them, I didn't even see it on my screen. I have like a monitor that shows me what's going on, so I don't know. Hey, what should I do with hey, what should I do with 450 grams of refrigerant? Maybe make a mini split. 450 grams of refrigerant. It's not a lot. I don't think you have much choice on what you can do because that ain't enough to do much. Now you can make one of these little refrigerators. I don't know what you mean by like make it. You're like you're gonna create one at home. It sounds fun, but I don't know. Let's see. We have here's a good comment right here. Let's see. Andrew Goodman. Goodman. Help, please. Hello, I have an electric furnace. I will set the thermostat to 67. The unit will turn on. It will get to 67 and the thermostat heat on will turn off, working correctly, but the unit will keep blowing heat. Thermostat turned to off, will not shut off. Oh, I thought I answered this one. So when you have an electric furnace, just make sure I read that correctly. Have an electric furnace to set the thermostat at 37, unit will turn on. 67 thermostat will turn off. Okay. So it was off evidently. And you turned it on and it came on and won't shut off. Now, electric furnace, typically that's the sequencer. I feel like we talked about this before, but we'll hit it again. So, repetition is learning. Okay, repetition is learning. So the sequencer will allow voltage through it, and then it will get stuck, and it powers the heat and the blower, so it just heats on forever. Sometimes you turn it off on the breaker and turn it back on, and that thing has become unstuck. So people say, oh, maybe it's have to shut the breaker off. Maybe that's a solution. No, I mean, that's never the solution. So you have to get a new sequencer. That's almost absolutely the problem. I know there can be other problems out there, but on these electric furnaces, they're pretty simple, and the same problems happen a lot, and that's pretty much the problem all the time. It happens on Goodman air handlers, the infamous Goodman blower relay. I've made videos about it. It's similar to a sequencer. Same principle. It gets stuck. They get overheated. They get damaged over time. All of a sudden, you have the heat strips and blower running. I had a call that Dizzy Dallas, what's up, man? I was just watching the episode that we were all on together with Joe and Eric. So much fun. We'll do that again one day. Stuck sequencer, Arthur Fonzarelli fix. For those of you who are younger and might not understand that, just picture an Italian guy hitting the jukebox and fixing it. That's basically what we're talking about. Hey, Fonzarelli. Okay. Yep. So, I mean, it happens a lot. The sequencer thing happens all the time. I'm sure it's going to continue to happen as long as people use sequencers. Now, there's variations of that. There's contactors out there. There's other relays. Carrier has their DC relay. Maybe they got rid of that by now. I hope so. That's stupid. What's the point of that? Just to be different? I don't know. Let's look at this thing here. All right, so we have how to remove a condenser fan motor blade. It's just like a puller. Some guy's asking about it. I mean, 500 microns is fine to pull a vacuum. Yep, I agree with that. This video was when I was checking out that Harbor Freight vacuum pump. I think I pulled it down to 300, but it took a while. But it worked. It got down there. Let's see. How much can a one man HVAC company make? Matt Kazakatapatakaw says, working alone is tough, especially if you do new system installations. Does it make sense to hire someone, or does taxes and benefits cost make it not worth it? Thoughts? Okay, well, Matt, this isn't a response via text, but is a response on the air. Yeah, I mean, it can be one of those things where a lot of guys go out there and they have subcontractors. The Why people get subcontractors and don't hire people on their payroll is because the payroll expenses are great and the taxes are great. And not great is in, hey, that's nice. Great is in substantial. So when you get a subcontractor, some of the responsibilities that you incur when you hire somebody get moved from yourself to the subcontractor. Subcontractor's then responsible for getting his own insurance. It sort of makes it like a separate entire company, even though they're really not a company. They're kind of working underneath you. They're probably borrowing some of your credentials, because they don't have them a lot of times, and then you're borrowing their labor because you don't want to do it a lot of times. If they're like me, I like to do service work, and then you'd have a subcontractor for the installations, because installation sucks and service is fun. That's it. Installation, cargo pilot. Service, Tom Cruise, Maverick. That's the difference. Okay. Tennessee Trucking says DC relays suck. I mean, it's not simply the fact that they're DC, but it's the fact that they have to be different than everybody else. So when you have like something it's just a pain in the butt because you learn to troubleshoot something, then all of a sudden you get a variant that's completely unnecessary. It's like, why is this? Why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense. Use a contactor if you feel strongly about sequencers. Tennessee Trucking says, thinking about coming out of trucking and back into HVAC. Just when I thought I was out, HVAC pulled me back in. Hey, just when I thought I was in, life pulled me back out. So, I mean, that's about how the story goes. Hey, you can have my spot. Let's see here. Okay, let's go back to the comments one more time. We'll wrap this up in a minute. I know it's late. It's kind of a late night thing. We'll do some more coming up here randomly. You guys just hang on to your seats. All right, tell me something I don't know. That's their name. That's the name they chose. On HVAC side work disagreement, which I guess was popular. It says, no, your boss doesn't own you on your own time. If your boss wants you to always be for them, then they need to pay for that privilege of exclusivity. Until then, your time is free agency. Interesting. I disagree. I mean, to me, it's not like, of course he doesn't own you in your own free time, but to me, it's like a loyalty thing. Maybe not from the boss. Maybe the boss is a complete jerkwad. It's a loyalty thing that if you're chasing the same customers he's chasing, that puts you into a conflict. It lines you up to do bad things. Why? The idea is don't put yourself in a position where you're going to make a bad decision or an unethical decision. Suppose you're low on cash. You're chasing the same customers. You go to a service call for your boss. You see that it needs a substantial repair. Then that's when and everybody's like, I would never do this. But people are capable of bad things if you put them in the right spot at the right time or wrong time, or however you want to think about it. Maybe you need some money, and that compressor will get you $1,000 that you can spend on whatever you want. Cheetos, Band-Aids, lifesavers, whatever it is. You get put in a position where you abandon your loyalties to your boss, and maybe you're like, hey, my boss don't deserve it. I mean, that's not the point. It's not about your boss. It's about how you behave. And that's what I think. But again, he doesn't own you. But don't think of it as even something that has to do with him. It doesn't have anything to do with your boss. Because if you make decisions on how you're going to act ethically based on someone else's actions, then you're just going to be a mirror of what they do. You got to be your own person. Don't be some cog in the wheel, bro. You got to be your own person. Don't tread on me. Stuff like that. Be your own person. Individuality. That's not very popular anymore. Be an individual. Make a decision for yourself. It's okay if everyone else hates you. If you felt like you did the right thing, heck with them. Raw Mesa, what's up? I'm about to cough. And excuse me for 1 second. Yeah, I think it's time to go because I'm about to cough and hack. Happy New Year, guys. I hope you're going to have a great night. I don't know what y'all are doing. If you're doing anything too party like, then take it easy. Don't drive home. If you do drive, get a driver. I'm going to be just sitting in here doing stupid, boring stuff, which I think is awesome. So, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good evening. Take care, and I hope to see you again real soon. We'll have another giveaway here. I got some swag down here we're going to give away, some cool shirts and stuff, and we'll have some more great conversations. If I ever fix my phone, we'll take some phone calls, which was really fun. But until then, we'll just horse around and have a good time. Take it easy, guys.
Best practices means doing the right thing all the time. Doing the right thing all the time. Doing the right thing all the time. Especially Friday at 4.